Patty. I haven't seen you in a long time. So what's happening in your corner of the world?
Hey, Penny, we have quite the history together,
Yeah.
and the one thing keeping us tethered after the films that we made together, which you can see, I've got my EBE awards behind me. They are when I was in the UFO field, and you assisted me to bring to the public something so profound that I got in a lot of physical trouble with people that were upset that they didn't want the information getting out. And so I've been dealing with, oh, shall we say, physical attacks for 7 years easily.
Yeah.
And I know that the only reason I'm still here is because I've been taking this product and now I'm co-owner of the company, but I founded it with the guys that have the lab that's making the good stuff. And that's what's keeping you and I tethered is that I gave you a sample, and I do have the greatest respect for your wisdom of food, health, intuition, and knowing what's good and not so good. And the
Uh,
fact that you were willing to try the Evo was a huge compliment. The fact that you're
oh yeah.
still after 2 years gives me great faith that the product is as good as I know it is.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's one of those gifts that you start taking it and there's little changes and little improvements and then more and then more and then more. And then you notice there's been a big change. And, for me, that was not only my eyes, but I would add my sleep as well. I had been for a long time waking up in the middle of the night, and then I'd be like wide awake for 2 or 3 hours, or maybe that would be the end of sleep for the night at 3 or 4 a.m. or 5. And finally, after taking C60 for a while, that just went away. And I sleep 8, 9 hours at night. And I think that you have to support the body and you have to I can't say it that way. I was going to say you have to euthanize it, but that's not the correct word.
Yeah.
You have to you have to make it younger.
Right. Youth it.
Yeah, right. And that you go back to like lately I've noticed my dreams when I have time to really pay attention to my dreams, they're pretty amazing. And every night it's something different. Just this morning I was thinking, holy cow, where did that come from? And I'm well trained in terms of dreams, but for a while there was difficulty catching the dream because I was trying to go back to sleep. It's like, don't bother me. I don't want to get up and write. I want to go back to sleep. And so now a lot of that has shifted. So I am really, I do not really need my glasses. I don't need them at all for reading. In fact, I have to take them off to read. Uh,
That's incredible.
yeah,
And you always wore them for reading, like
yeah.
for
I had
decades.
progressive so that I could read up close and then see my computer and then see in the distance. And now it's like, no, no. I really just need some distance glasses. Maybe the computer, because I keep my computers when I'm working on them more than arm's length away. And when it gets out beyond my fingertips, more than arm's length, then it starts getting a little bit fuzzy. But a lot of times, if I pull it up close, I don't even need the glasses for doing computer work. So there's been this slow but steady improvement. And I have started recommending more and more. I just got off of a tea and somebody was saying, I inherited this cat and he, I think it was a he, is going blind. And I said, oh, you need to get some C60 and feed that to the cat. C60 for animals. And I just think that part of the miracle is in the molecule itself. The other part of it, yeah, the other part of it is if you're talking about the olive oil thing, that's the olive oil. The more I study the olive oil, and the polyphenols in it. It's like,
Mhm.
holy cow, that's a dynamite combination because polyphenols do things like reverse heart trouble and improve eyesight and clean out the body and help with everything, help with skin, with hair, the whole thing. And then you've got the C60 molecule, which is carbon 60. What's the official name of it?
ESS 60. There's a big difference. So we want to not say C60
Right.
because that's industrial, but the ESS 60 is the industrial initially cleaned and cleaned and cleaned, and then it's made to be for humans and pets.
Yeah.
So the purified version that's safe for people is called ESS 60, Elemental Safe Spheres,
Yep.
60 carbon atoms.
Okay. Okay. And I'll say this as well. So I never ever liked olive oil, ever. I hated it with a
Me too.
passion. And and I just noticed recently, and I think it's a combination of the C60 itself and my own work with restoring my gut, which I think C60 helps with that because of the polyphenols in the olive oil. And my taster has changed. And where I used to like, okay, I'm going to take this, you know, I was going to say the other month, it was probably about 3 months ago. I took the spoonful of C60 and it had this kind of a shock reaction. It's like, man, that tasted very good. It tasted flowery. And I thought something is shifting there in terms of how things taste.
Hmm.
And it has continued to hold. Everything tastes a little different, a little better. And that is another side effect that I didn't expect. And I think some of that is I'm also taking Lactobacillus reuteri, which is a yogurt, and Bravo yogurt together. And I think that and C60, it's like a wow combination. And a couple people I have said to me, well, I took it for a little bit, and I said to them, no, you have to commit. You have to commit to your health. You can't just, it isn't, we can't be acting with the idea that we found the silver bullet. It is kind of like a silver bullet, but
Yeah.
it works with other things. And that's not always the case. Sometimes things conflict, and especially when you're trying to heal yourself. And so I love the synergy of this with the other things that we really have to have in order to be healthy.
Right. I
Yeah.
want to say about our olive oil. Um, the a lot of people will make a product with extra virgin cold pressed olive oil
Yep.
from Costco by the crate. And we
Okay.
import all of our olive oil from the same farm for years, and it's literally in Greece. So we actually
Oh,
get direct extra virgin cold pressed olive oil from the farm where the olives are grown. So we are selling a product that represents real olive oil, and it's got this strong taste. And it took me a minute also because I've never been a vinegar or olive oil kind of gal.
oh,
I
yeah.
like all kinds of foods, but vinegar and wine, it just
Yeah.
makes me cringe.
Uh,
So,
vinegar
the
and
olive
oil,
oil, huh?
vinegar and oil on your salad.
Oh no, give me blue cheese or ranch. I've just been like a cream machine
Yep.
when it comes to salads, but all of a sudden, going to this ESS 60 in this great olive oil that's super strong, what it did for me, just taking a spoonful in the morning was like, what?
Yeah.
So for me, it is about sleep also, but also about energy. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm in love with the coconut oil. I start my day with a cup of coffee and the ESS 60 coconut oil. It's MCT, really wonderful oil, but
Um,
it's half as strong as the olive oil, which we call it the beast. It's every peer-reviewed test in the last 34 years, and we've been making it longer than any lab in the world. has used our C60 EVO olive oil formula. What's interesting is there's one test that the whole industry, if we can compare ourselves with the industrial grade C60 people that are selling without knowing that they should be upgrading to a cleaner product for people and pets. But we're finding that the concentration levels are really low, as well as
Mm.
oils from Costco. And unfortunately, if they're not buying the good stuff from us, we know that the only other stuff comes from China. And it's industrial grade C60 from China, and most likely oils from Costco.
Wow.
So we don't really refer to our product as C60. Chris had to really tush, tush,
Yeah,
like
I know.
whiny, because the industrial is kind of the what we sell for ink, batteries, tires, photo cells, but not people.
Yeah.
And when people come to us and they want to buy the raw product, it's a lot cheaper to get industrial. But if we say,
Yeah.
what are you going to do with it? And they're going to mix it for people and pets, we actually won't sell it. We
Okay.
actually say no. I'm surprised Chris and Robert are willing to turn down the sale, but they are. So I respect that.
I do too. I
Yeah.
do too.
But again, so they're selling industrial from China. And
You
people
know,
can make their own choice, but you and I, as elders, and this is what I mentioned at the top of the show, we're both in our 70s. And look at your skin, look at mine, our energy. But for me, I feel like this is the most successful I've been my whole darn life in my 70s. What?
I know.
It's
They
like,
know.
why did I have to wait this long? But here we are going through this really tough time in human history that will be written about for eons.
Yeah.
And really, I want to congratulate everyone listening that you made it this far. I feel like we've gone up this huge hill of corruption and we're kind of coming down the other side with massive exhaustion, but
Yeah.
somehow I can't stop watching news and information and
I can't
congressional
either.
hearings.
You know,
You
I
know,
had a conversation with my son and my grandson. My grandson is 10. And we,
so's mine.
okay. So we're talking, and the conversation switches to what's happening in the world. And he immediately, the 10-year-old immediately says, if you guys are going to talk politics, I'm out of here. And so, can I be excused? Okay. Yeah. And later I was thinking about, okay, why was I not interested in that whole type of conversation when I was that age either, or even when I was 15 or 20 or 25 or 30? Why did it take me so long to get interested? And it dawned on me, it's because the stresses of life, I didn't connect those stresses with who was running things. It was just, I was having a stress and I'm lost in my own little world. It didn't dawn on me that there might be a connection to whoever was making the decisions. And when you don't make that connection, you live in a world of stress. And once you do make that connection, you can't stop watching who's running things. You can't stop watching the news, like you said. And the news is very stressful. And it's, one of the things I teach in my Getting Well Naturally class is about stress. And stress, you can, there's probably a half dozen things, maybe more than that, 8 or 9 things that happen within the first 2 minutes of stress. One of the first things that happens is that digestion shuts down. The second thing that happens is that your blood vessels shrink. The third thing that happens is that all the blood is withdrawn from your extremities and put into the core of the body so that if the tiger gets a hold of your leg, you won't bleed to death. Oh, and that's another thing. Your blood thickens immediately. The body starts pouring thickeners into your blood so that if you get bit, you won't bleed to death. You have a chance to stop that, that whole thing. Another thing that happens is the brain begins to produce endorphins, which is the equivalent, the natural equivalent to morphine. And so you end up drugged in case the tiger does get you, so it doesn't hurt so bad. And
Love you, body.
yeah. And so all of those things happen in the first 2 minutes of stress. If you don't do something to counter that, you're going to be in a world of hurt. And you can live in stress for a long time, maybe even 2 years, but within usually a year and a half to 2 years, your major weak spot in your genetic system is going to get triggered. And when you just change your diet a little bit, do a little bit of exercise, do a little bit of detox, take the supplements you need to be taking to support the body, you can handle that stress. And yeah,
Boom.
when you don't do anything, then you're going down. And when you get right now, everybody is watching the news and what's happening, and everybody's got an opinion, and everybody is stressed out about what's happening. And,
Not everybody.
well, not everybody, that's true. However, a lot of people, I mean, you and I, we don't really constitute
I'm not.
majority.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, one of the things that I tell people is look, if you go down, you need 4 times as much nutrition to recover as it takes to just maintain. So, do something to take care of yourself. Take something. And C60 EVO, good food, amino acids, a little bit of exercise. I mean, you can handle the stress. It makes a huge difference. And, and we don't have a whole lot of say in what's happening out there. Although I heard something today that I really liked. It was a statement it was actually, I think it was Putin was talking in a video. And he said, when he first decided to go into Ukraine, he was hoping that the people would get behind the whole thing. And he said, I was hoping that the people would realize they are the state. And I just heard that phrase, the people are the state. And I thought, I wonder how many people in the US actually have that perception. We are the state. Where's our voice? Where's our action? What are we doing to survive the leadership that we have? We have made some big changes, and they are working their little tush off to try to keep us afloat and to survive this whole transition back to some kind of common sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely essential that people take care of themselves and realize, yeah, you are the state and you're under a lot of stress, Mr. National, whatever you are. So,
I don't watch TV at all, but I watch
neither.
YouTube, BitChute, Rumble. And the neat thing is, it's kind of for me like going to a restaurant where I look at the menu of what do I want to see.
That's
And for
right.
me, it's about choosing what matches my frequency. But you keep leading up to this really important thing, which is what do people need right now? We need to have a balanced mind, body, spirit. And in my opinion, again, it's why I sell this product. It is so good for the brain and the pineal gland. And I just learned why, which I think you'll find interesting. My partners are the scientists. I do all the social everything. I also design the products
Okay.
and choose the scents and everything.
Yeah.
But so the body is made up of all these cells, and there's mitochondria in every cell other than blood cells. So we've got hundreds up to 5,000 mitochondria per cell throughout the body, but the brain has 2 million mitochondria per
Oh,
cell.
wow. I did not know that.
2 million
Oh, man.
per cell.
Wow.
And the pineal gland near the brain has somewhere in between, which is a lot of
Yeah.
mitochondria. And what they found through the BOSS theory, buffering oxidative stress, is literally what they call it, what you were talking about. they found that what this does literally is it's a vacuum to pull out all the stressors in the mitochondria. So
Oh,
when you've got 2 million here and 500 or 6, 5,000 everywhere else, and you've got this huge roto-rooter in your system
yeah,
that's clearing out, vacuuming up, and removing, and it goes out your number two
yeah,
in your system.
right.
Um, yeah, I've been asking like, where does it go and how do we get rid of it? But
Back
we do
door.
backdoor, we
Yeah,
backdoor it. And,
right.
but you were saying, oh no, Roseanne Barr, I've been listening to her
Oh, she's
testimonial
good.
for us.
She's good.
She's good and she looks great, but she said it really was like a roto-rooter for her intestines.
It
And
is.
of course, if you add oil to your diet, mega oil, really good organic extra virgin olive oil, and you
Right.
put that in your system, that alone, like you said with the polyphenols, is going to help your body. But when you do that, and this miracle molecule ESS60, which is pure carbon 60 at the highest
Yeah.
frequency, you're going to have rave reviews from your body going, yes, thank you. And you'll start seeing improvements like better mental focus,
Yeah.
longer endurance for research. I mean, I can't stop. And I just found that I'm still paying for my domain called InfoWhores. I was mocking Alex Jones and I created that website years ago. It's probably a YouTube channel still, Info Dash Whores.
Oh
And
my.
I still don't want to give it up because it really is kind of who we are. And it's not a very nice word, but I can't get enough info.
Yeah,
I'm just like insatiable
I
because
know.
it's so fascinating.
It is. It is. And watching the dynamics, what works, what isn't working. And now I'm watching the reaction of people to all those dynamics. And I see this rising tide of rah, 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 complaints, and we don't like this. And I'm like, people, be patient. It's not going to fix overnight. Do something to relax and just, go along and see where things are going. Speak up when you need to, but don't start tearing things apart until they've at least had a little bit of time to work. And I don't know if people are going to be able to tolerate too much more. I hope that we can see some kind of settling, but when I look ahead, I don't see that yet. So, and
I
that
do.
worries me. What we've found in the medical field is that if you don't relieve your stress within 2 to 3 years, you're going to die. It's just that simple. And all of there were, I'll say this, there were a lot of spray programs, experimental spray programs back in the late 70s, early 80s. Nothing happened with those. And there's a reason why, because they were spraying a particular kind of virus called a lentavirus. And that virus waits. It doesn't do anything. There's no symptoms for 10, 20, 30, even 40 years.
Oh, no.
And then when a big stress comes along, boom, it goes into action. Fatigue, all of the symptoms of long COVID appear, except they didn't call it long COVID. All kinds of problems with heart and lungs and brain and memory and sleep and you name it. And you need to be doing something to counter that, something that will help fix. Yeah,
Easy.
right.
So easy. It's a spoonful in the morning.
Yeah,
That's what it is. You
yeah,
put it on a spoon, you stick it in your mouth. If the olive oil is strong for you, which it is, you chase it with water if you need it. If you love olive oil, you're going to be blown away how good it is. But
yeah.
it really is a solution.
Uh-huh.
It is such a
Yeah.
solution to brain cramping, to heartache, to
Yep.
no energy,
Yep.
to exhaustion. It's just so easy. And when people call me and they're sick, I say, do you still have some Evo? Yeah. Double up your dose. Oh, I forgot to do it the last few days. Well, wonder why you got sick.
Yeah.
But I'm a little conceited about it because it's 125 times stronger than vitamin C as an antioxidant, peer-reviewed test. And again, it wasn't just any product, it was ours. It
All
was
right.
C60 EVO.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I totally believe in it, and I just think that it is the easiest thing on earth as
I
far
don't
as
think you can say you
overall.
believe in it. Don't say that. Say that you know from personal experience
I do.
that you have been a very good poster child for your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
that's,
definitely have.
yeah, believing is when you don't have any experience to back it up. Well, I think, oh, I believe. But when
Good
you
point.
know, then you know.
I
And
try not to be too aggressive with my words, but you're right. I do.
yeah,
I do know, and you do know.
I
And
do.
we are very picky ladies about what we put in our bodies.
Or you can say that again. Yeah.
We are very picky ladies.
I think I want to bring up some other approach to taking care of yourself when you can't do anything except maybe take the Evo, okay? Um, and you're just watching stuff unfold, and you're fussing and you're worrying and you're fretting, and etc. It's a really helpful thing to just take a real to take good care of your face, your skin, swish it around your mouth because it helps your teeth. There's that whole practice of just taking care of yourself. You will end up feeling better,
Yeah.
even if you only do something for your face. And that I think is just one of the things. It's something I learned from my mother. She was maybe 40 and she was pregnant. And I said to her one day, "Do you have makeup on?" And she said, "No." And I said, "Wow, you look beautiful." And she got this, silly grin on her face. We didn't usually say much like that in our family, but she said, I take care of myself. I take care of my skin twice a day." And I noticed that for the first time, I had been watching her do that her whole life. In the morning, wash her face, put something on it. I didn't pay attention to what it was. And then in the evening, about 5 o'clock, right before my father was going to come home, she would do it again and always looked fresh and relaxed because just that little bit of self-care at 5 o'clock was enough to make her feel good, make her feel beautiful, kind of cut the stresses of the day and raising 6 kids and sometimes having as many as 17 people in a 2-bedroom house. It was a lot. And so I learned from watching her that you take care of your skin, and I love your skin products. They are astounding. So, I have to say, yeah, I
I
have
love
to,
this.
yeah, I didn't bring mine down.
That's all right, I've got mine.
Well, this is almost gone now, but
Oh, that's the two part. The
yeah, the Youth
peptides.
Renew, mixing them up. Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh. And that it helps keep you from looking old, which when you happen to catch a glance in the mirror, you don't feel old either. Because if you look old, you're going to reinforce the idea that you're getting old and you're falling apart. Don't do that.
Yeah.
That's something that I say to people all the time. Take care of yourself. You'll feel better. And you do. And, the whole face thing or the arms or the neck, or right now I'm working on the calf on my left leg. So,
Body parts.
yeah, I put the serum on that.
Good.
Yeah.
I
And
use it for scars also and different things.
yeah,
Healing.
yeah.
Have you tried the new product, the C60 EVO
Oh,
Tangerine Body Cream?
yes. Oh my God. I love it. I don't have hardly any left. I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Oh,
So,
I
yeah.
have to get you some more. Oh, I don't want to make you jealous.
Oh, this stuff is
So
great.
it's real. I'm glad you love it. I love it too.
Yeah.
And
I don't put anything else on my body.
I don't either. I really am hooked on her products. And I also like that they're close to natural
Yeah.
compared to anything else I've ever done. These are the cleanest products.
Yep.
But the thing that you said about helping with your mood when your skin feels better,
Ah,
not
yeah.
only did we make great products for skin, but the aromatherapist that I worked with to create the essences had
Oh,
the intention of keeping you on a higher frequency, such that this tangerine body cream, we are a real lab, so we have to go 4 months with sustaining tests and stuff in the lab. And it was torture for me. And finally, I got the product finished, and I was like, oh no, that smell, no. And so my formulator said, no, you can't be dissatisfied. And I said, no, this isn't the scent. I need tangerine and citrus, like
oh,
rich and fresh, because, and so we had to go round two. I waited 4 more months,
oh,
missed Christmas with my new body cream. But
oh,
once it came, it was worth the wait because
I agree.
the thing about citrus and tangerine, the reason for this is because it literally makes people happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Energetically.
I use it in my diffuser as well. Citrus and rose geranium, believe it or not, those two together
Nice.
make a
Sweet.
fabulous mood lifter. So,
And the facial serum, I have a favorite, you have a favorite. But what happened was all
yeah.
we did was oils, like, that's
Yeah.
what I was doing. And I found myself, because it's so precious, that I would take my spoon and wipe it in my hands and put it on my face. And then I'd go around the lip and I'd get that oil also and I'd rub it on my face. And all of a sudden, I realized my skin was really improving. So I called the lab and I said, hey guys, we need to do a facial formula. And they're like, yeah, right. Well, we're a bunch of guys, probably not going to do facial formulas. Next thing I knew, they said, okay, go for it. And it was such a hit, still is.
Oh gosh,
And
yeah.
it's changing everybody's skin because we're doing it now inside and out. So when you take the oil on the inside in your body and you put the facial serum on your skin, you just get incredible results because it's coming at you in both directions with the mitochondria cleanse and the cellular cleanse.
Right.
And now I mean, the difference is great. And this one, I'm dying. The guys at the lab that, were like too masculine to consider it, they came up with this box, but
Okay.
I did the words revive, replenish, rejuvenate.
Yeah.
Um, it's just a lovely presentation, even though I've pulled this bottle out a few times.
It
Uh,
is. It is. That is wonderful stuff. Oh my
and the essence is rosemary, and it's
God.
good and potent, so that when you put it on, I always want to smell my hands first and then I put it on my skin. But the reason we use rosemary is because the aromatherapist said it takes your dreams into a higher frequency.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you said your dreams are more vivid, you're
Yes.
remembering them now. My dreams, oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I don't know where we come up with this stuff, Penny, but it's so fun to be multidimensional. I can fly in my dreams, way to
Yep.
go.
Yep.
You know, and
Yeah.
everybody's really nice. There aren't any, politically angry people,
Yeah.
uh, unless I get those, and then I wake up going, "Oh shit." But
Once in a while. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
the skin
It's
formula did so well. 21 organic, natural, vegan ingredients in this one. This
mm,
is my favorite. I put it on morning and night. Love it. But then the guys at the lab call me and they go, "We have a confession. Facial serum is so good that we're all wearing it." I'm like, wow, cool. It's for guys. Well, duh. They have skin and faces, and
yeah.
men love it. So the guys at the lab started working with this, what do they call it? A peptide that had 30 years of testing to be incredible for face. It's called UTH-29. So now we have this two-part
Oh,
facial
that's
serum,
what
which
that
you
is.
love. And
Yeah.
it's got the rosemary basic formula with
Yeah.
a few different variants. And then it has this peptide cream, which is blue. And you have to put it on your hand when you're about to use it and freshly activate. So it's one pump, 2 drops, or 2 pumps, 4 drops in the palm of your hand, rub it, and then put it on. And this saved us putting in emulsifiers and chemicals because
Right.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So, next thing I know, the guys at the lab came up with a hair formula. Same thing, fabulous with peptides, and
Oh,
you activate it fresh in your hands, and then you put
oh,
it on your hair at bedtime and leave it on.
wait.
And for people that got that flu thing that was for 4 years, or the needle in the arm thing that made people lose a lot of hair,
Yeah.
this has been a great remedy. I did get the flu thing at Adele Bigtree speech.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
oh,
in the back row, and all of us got the thing.
oh.
So it's like, oh, isn't that interesting? We all got it in the back row. And anyway, we won't
Hmm.
go into conspiracy
Yeah.
theory, but
I
Uh, I
love
used the hair
conspiracy theories.
formula. I know we
Yeah.
do. And I did the hair formula for 3 weeks and haven't lost a hair since.
Wow. I didn't know you had hair stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's called
It-
C60 EVO Hair Renewal Duo.
Huh. Okay. Wow. That I get questions almost every month. What do I do about hair? How do I restore my hair?
So
Yeah.
easy. And you
Yeah.
activate in the palm of your hand. Oops, that's the other one.
Let me share something about the palm of my hand. I'm trying to remember when a couple years ago, I started getting cording. How David Icke can't open up his hand all the way. It's a couple of fingers are just, they don't open. Okay. So he can't do anything more than this. And it's because he's got these cords that develop, the tendons of the hand turn tough and they don't stretch anymore. Well, I started to get the same thing in both hands.
Ooh.
And the hand that I mix the C60 EVO Youth Renew in to put on my face is all better.
Oh my God.
The other hand, I started using it just maybe 3 weeks ago, thinking, what happened there? That cording is almost gone. And it's like there was a problem. I couldn't open my hand and spread it really wide. And now I can, and that, that this hand wasn't as bad, but it was stiffer for sure. And so I started deliberately mixing it in the other hand, thinking, I think that C60 EVO thing is helping those cords. It soaks right in. So, yeah, there's all kinds of little benefits that you get that you don't expect just using some of the stuff.
Well, we opened the lab in 1991 before my time, just my partners. They
Uh-huh.
were college guys. They actually invented the huge metal reactor machine that
Yeah.
makes C60 burns at the heat of the sun in a chamber, and they have a magnificent lab. I
Yeah.
flew there when we talked about being partners, and I was sold in 10 minutes because
Wow.
I had seen the couple of businesses in Colorado and basements and garages, and it was
Yeah.
Amazon mixers and trash cans, and
Yep. I've seen the same thing. Yeah.
then I go to the lab, and it's like, what? So, no wonder that all the products from our lab have been used in all the peer-reviewed tests.
Mhm.
And my partners are still writing white papers that are being peer-reviewed. They've got a couple in now. We're running another test. They're spending a fortune because what we want to do is we've created a new industry of no longer industrial grade C60 for tires and batteries, but this ESS 60 for people and pets being non-toxic
Yeah.
is a massive evolution. It's a breakthrough technology in making the body feel better because we can't say
Yeah.
those other words. So, um, the things that people will notice most is more energy during the day, much more mental focus, and deeper sleep at night.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
just makes you a better person when you sleep well and you feel good. And when you're putting this organic, fabulous mega oil in your body every day, you're helping also with your fluidness of motion.
Right. Absolutely. And that is one of the I'm going to say it's like the determining factor as to whether or not you feel old or not. Can you move? And can you bend? And can you pick up something off the floor if you drop it? Et cetera, et cetera. And that C60 EVO is really just a huge boost to that kind of flexibility and fluidity. So it's really, and this is the time of year to really boost your health efforts. You're not fighting the cold and flu season. You're not fighting the winter. You're not fighting all of the closed rooms. This is the time to, if you're going to spend a little extra time on yourself, a little extra money, get a little program together. This is the time right now. And there's another thing that I have noticed. I was going to mention this. I should have written all this down. I had for the last 10 years terrible spring allergies. By this time of the year, my eyes would be burning. I would be itching. It would be terrible. Now, I'm waiting to see. Maybe it's because spring was a couple days later this year. Maybe the tree pollens haven't started, but the trees are all in bloom. And I haven't had any of the itchy eyes and terrible sneezing, and feeling like my head is swollen right here, that I would have April, May, June every year. So we are, 7 days into May, and I'm like, nothing yet. Okay.
You told me that last year.
Oh, did I?
Yes, you
Okay.
did. You said all of a sudden, I don't have allergies like I have
Yeah,
forever.
I was taking a homeopathic called Rhine Allergy, and I bought extra last year, but I started taking C60 EVO about that same time. I took a little bit of the allergy medicine and then quit. Was like, well, I don't really need this. And so I still have it. And this year I haven't even touched it. It's like,
Go
oh, wow.
natural, people. Go natural. I
I,
swear by this stuff, and I have avoided buying so many other products once I got
yeah,
this one. It's
basic.
so easy, and it's like the effortless plan. A lot of people say, what should I start with? What do you recommend? And we call it the inside out set, but now we're going to change the name to the beginner set because you want an inside and the skin.
Okay. Yep.
In my opinion, this
Yeah.
is me personally, but if you get the olive oil, you're getting the strongest of our three oils. And we have delicious avocado, almost as strong, and the MCT coconut oil, half as much of the ESS 60. So I just put twice as much in my morning coffee. This is my jam. But
Okay.
most people go for the olive oil.
Yeah.
Roseanne Barr and Ann Vandersteel love the Avo because they make avocado toast and they absolutely swear by it.
Okay.
So, but my point when you put it on food, which you can always do, is then you got to lick the plate. So look before, you can just lift the plate and go for it. But we
Okay.
also do the beginner set, the inside and out with the capsules.
Hmm.
People that travel, people that don't like a spoonful of oil on their tongue, whatever, it's
Yeah.
so good. But the capsules are great.
Yeah.
One of my most woo-woo friends, high frequency, everything, this, that, organic. But she finally tried the capsules, and I said 6 a day. So she calls me, she goes, "What is this, crack?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "I did one capsule. I cleaned my entire garage." I
Oh.
said, "I've heard that before, but one is like hardly anything." She calls me the next day. She goes, "What the hell? Is this a crack?" And I said, "What did you do today?" She goes, "I cleaned my closet and then I organized every drawer in my house.
Oh, wow.
What's going on?" And I said, "Well, I guess the Evo is working for you." So for people that are lethargic, give this a go. And if you do one and it feels like crack, amen, that'll last a lot longer, 180 capsules. But we also sell it for dogs and cats.
Yeah.
And when I said lethargic, it reminded me because a lot of people have written us tear-jerking letters saying, "I thought we were going to have to put our dog down.
Yep.
I thought we were going to have to put our cat to sleep because they were this, that, this, that. I can tell you both my kids have spent thousands on their pets, like one thing after another. But I
Right.
gave the Evo and they stopped going to the vet. And my final testimonials, my mother next week is going to be 96. She
Oh,
looks unbelievable. I just got a photo of her Cinco de Mayo 2 days ago. Like, what? She does the Evo. She keeps doing the Evo.
good
And
for her.
she's got this dog that's like forever. Oh my God, it's so old. It's a 17-year-old Shih Tzu, but the people have to come in and help her take the dog in a little trolley out to the grass and then they lift it out. But the dog won't die. My mom won't die. It's like they're going, what are these people doing? And my mom's like, oh, my daughter makes this product and it's the C60 EVO. So she's going to be 96.
Oh, wow.
Who
Good
knows? She
for
might live
her.
to be well over 100. But frankly, you and I in our 70s,
Yeah.
not bad.
I'm closer to 80 than 70. So, yeah,
You
it's,
look like a kid.
well, I feel I don't, I said just the other day to my daughter, wow, I don't think about being 77. I don't feel like I'm 77. I don't,
Wow.
it never concerns me. I'm not limited in any way. Um, I should say, as long as I don't try any new exercises, I'm in great shape. But I started some exercises for my back about 4 days ago. And I was like, oh, I can feel those muscles. But nothing like what I used to have, which would be I wouldn't be able to move, wouldn't be able to move for like 4 or 5 days. And, when you start off with one or two, you build up. And I started off with 30 of sit-ups, and so it's like this is for my back. Actually, it has helped my abdomen as well.
I
But
bet.
yeah, but I didn't have any soreness the
Nope.
next day. So I thought, oh, the second day after is the worst. Nothing happened that day. So then I thought, well, maybe it's going to happen the third day. And on the third day, I was a little bit stiff. And today, I was a little bit stiff when I first woke up and went to get out of bed and thought, wow, maybe I was in better shape than I thought I was, that I could just start out with 30 sit ups, boom, 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 and not, get into a place of can't move, can't breathe, can't hardly walk, that kind of thing. So,
Well, we call this preventative for athletes, like people
yeah,
that know they've got a race tomorrow or a big heavy workout. You do it the day before,
yep.
you do it the morning of, and you're going to have such an advantage, and your body will probably not hurt the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that there's some truth to that. I fully expected that, when I got to 30, I thought, what am I doing? This is way too much for beginning for the first day of a new exercise.
But
And
God, it feels good.
I know, I know. Every so often I'll do something and I'll think, oh, look what I can do. And then the next day or the day after, I'm like, oh, but that has not happened. So,
I have to stop myself before I do a cartwheel. I see a big lawn, I'm like, yeah.
uh-huh. Oh
It's like,
my God.
no.
Yeah.
I just got both my hips replaced in the last
Oh,
year.
that's right. How are you doing?
Unbelievable. Like nobody even remembers that I was limping pretty bad there at the end.
Oh
And
God, yeah.
it doesn't show, other than, of course, my stitches. Uh,
Oh yeah. Oh,
but they look amazing. My dermatologist raves every time she sees me. I think what she says is, Patty, I see scars 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, and I've never seen anybody heal like you.
oh, very
So
good.
all I can say is, man, head to toe,
Yep.
this is the good stuff,
Yep.
C60 EVO. The olive oil is so wonderfully strong. That's why we only make the capsules in the olive oil.
Yep.
But I can't recommend enough for people to get it for themselves, their pets,
Yeah.
and see the doctor a lot less. See the vet, maybe never again. I
Yep.
mean, what we want to do is be independent with our health because out there, they make a lot of mistakes, and I don't want them making a mistake on me. So this is so great. I mean, I haven't had a checkup in a long time because I don't trust the system. I've watched too much failure and I don't need
Oh,
it. I take C60 EVO every day. I start my day with it. I go power through the day
oh.
until 9. And then 9:01, I'm like, yeah, timber.
Very good. Oh my. I start my day typically about 8:30. I'm in the office at 12 and I work until 12 midnight and get to bed about 1 and start over the next day. And I do that 7 days a week. And so this is halfway through my 12-hour day. And I was thinking, well, I should probably go fix my hair and fix my makeup or do something. It's like, no, this is the real me at this time of the day. So
Look great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So get some, you guys. Do yourself a favor and get some C60 EVO. Start with any of the products. They are all fabulous.
And it's so easy. I
Yeah.
mean, really, put it on a spoon, stick it in your mouth,
Yep.
feel better all day long. And for people that, think that maybe you and I are just blabbering elders that are excited about how good we feel,
Yeah.
check out the website testimonials, and you'll see that people around the world are really
Yep.
raving about the benefits they're getting from C60 Evo because, God, we sell to a lot of countries. And we
Yeah.
got another order from Guernsey. Have you ever heard of the country Guernsey? Off the coast of England.
Yeah, I have.
We just sold
It's an
to
island.
the Emirates. Like
Oh, wow.
we're selling to obscure countries so far away, and I'm thinking, how are they hearing about us? But there's your audience, Roseanne Barr's audience, all these different interviews that we do reach a different crowd of people. But
Yep.
when your audience that loves you, that's devoted to you, sees the
Yeah.
difference and the consistency of your radiant health, and then you admit, this is my secret. I take Evo every day and I use it on my face.
Yeah.
It kind of is like, wow, really
Yeah.
works. So,
Yeah, it
amen.
does. Yeah.
So the website is C60EVO, like evolution,
Oh, yeah.
.com/Penny Kelly. And if you go to that landing page, you will find a secret link to get a
Yeah.
little discount. But also, we encourage everyone to save 20% right off the bat
Yeah.
and sign up for a monthly subscription. No obligation. You can write us in 2 days and say, I don't want any more, and that's fine with us. We won't even ask questions, but get the discount, and then at checkout,
Yeah.
use Penny's code and you get a little more discount. We do 25% off if people buy a case. We sell a lot of cases,
Oh, good.
especially to those big C clinics, which we can't talk about, but they use it for daily protocol. And if
Oh,
the rats died without any tumors, first time in history, there must be something to this, a
wow.
magic sauce. And it also won a Nobel Prize in 1996 for its excellence in chemistry. And that was when the Nobel Prize situation used to have integrity.
Yeah.
Uh, Once they gave it to Joe Obama and Bill Gates, we have to think about it twice. But yeah, I mean, again, I just appreciate you so much. You and I have a great history together.
Oh, we do.
And it's also just about always being about the truth. And when your mind is clear and it's connected to your heart in a really pure way, the truth is so easy. And things that are untrue are so easy to see. And I don't have fight in me anymore because it's a waste of my energy.
I know.
I like to do what the Buddha said, and we just go, is that so? Bye. Bye.
Funny. Yeah, I agree. That is really the best attitude. Why get all ruffled up just because somebody did something that you either didn't expect, didn't want, or think is not right for you? Just look, just watch, just learn. Learn how the world really is. It's just so much easier to handle that when you can stay calm inside. And I think that's part of what C60 does. It's the Evo, all the products. They keep you calm inside. So yeah, treat yourself. What's what's the website again?
C60 EVO Evolution, c60evo.com/Penny Kelly.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Real good. Okay, you
Thank you.
guys. Yeah.
Great to see you. And
Yes,
keep youthing.
I will. Yeah, I will. You too. Man, you
All
look
right.
great. You look great. So you're doing something right. It's just,
Hey, we're
yeah,
still here, which amazes me because
I know.
telling the truth in times of universal deceit is a revolutionary act, they said in the 80s. But you know what?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 2025, and I'm glad to be alive.
Oh my God, I know. Oh, so I feel so much the same thing. It's like, look, I'm not quitting just because the world is a mess. I'm taking care of me. It'll
That's
do
right.
what it's going to do. I'm going to watch and learn.
Yep. And don't forget about chocolate. When I need a little treat, chocolate just does it. You
Yeah.
know, I
Okay.
mean, it just does. So I also am in the mood when I treat myself right,
Yeah.
it keeps my light on. And this is the easiest thing I've ever found. And
Yeah.
to be partners with the only lab in the world making the good stuff,
Yeah.
thank you, God. I just feel really blessed.
Yeah.
When I was making movies to run into you and
Yeah.
to deliver data at that level, I was really blessed then as well. So here we are, 10 years
Yeah.
later, still friends and
I know.
youthing on C60 Evo.
Yeah. There you go.
Not euthanizing.
Yeah,
Oh
that came out the
my.
wrong way. I was
Yeah, well,
like,
that's what Fauci did, but we're not that.
no, definitely. Okay. Well, I'm going to go eat some supper and
Good idea.
I hope you have a wonderful evening, wonderful day.
Oh,
So,
you too.
yeah, and thanks. I am so thrilled with all this good stuff. So, I just keep taking it, just keep putting it on, putting it in. So,
And staying radiant. So I'll get your grocery list of products you need, and I know that you want to try the hair renewal duo.
oh, yeah, that I would try that. So, yeah, okay, that sounds great.
The
Okay.
thing about the hair renewal duo that's kind of funny is the people that get gray roots, you'll get them sooner because your hair does grow quicker. I
Oh,
did notice that. That's kind of a funny thing. So that's how you can tell it's working. Oh my God, my hair is, like,
oh, yeah.
yeah, it's kind of funny on some people, but
Okay. Oh my.
that's a sign it works.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, what we want is things that work.
We
All
do.
right, people. Thank
Yeah.
you, Penny.
Okay. Take care. Take care.